Okay, we're staying on this breaking news. Let's bring in from House Homeland Security Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. It's great to see you, Congressman. Okay, so what's going on is the Biden White House just filed an emergency stay at the Supreme Court to stop Texas's new state law letting law enforcement arrest and deport illegal border crossers. The president was just there at the Texas border touting he's all about border security. What do you think?
I think it's a continuation of Joe Biden trying to redirect blame. It's clear that the issue at the border is the biggest issue facing the American people. If he wants to make a difference, he can, but he doesn't. He is on the side of those crossing into this country illegally.
So, Congressman, you know, the president did nearly 100 executive actions starting from day one, weakening the border. Happened in his first 100 days. He's not backing down. He's not getting rid of them. And now Speaker Johnson, you, New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, you've invited NYPD cops attacked by migrant mobs to the State of the Union. Are they going to go?
Yeah, they're coming. And listen, the NYPD, I'm a proud retired member of the NYPD, served there as a detective. And the facts are that this border crisis imposed by President Biden, it has victims. And you know what? On Thursday night, two of those victims, two proud, brave NYPD police officers who were attacked by illegal migrants in Midtown, they're going to be our guests at the State of the Union. It's about time Joe Biden looks them in the eye and hopefully has some sort of answer as what he's doing to this country. You
know, watch the president dodge on why he's not getting rid of his executive actions. Again, nearly 100 of them undercutting border security. You're going to hear the media also going after the White House, saying the president is wrong on this. Watch this.
Why are you waiting to take executive action on the border?
Because we need more forces on the border. I don't have the authority to do that.
The simple fact is the Democrats have been sort of out of touch on this issue. The Biden policies just haven't worked. So to me, the issue right now is not necessarily immigration. It's chaos.
Look, this has been an obvious challenge for him and for his party for some time now. I think Biden was slow to realize that. But I think Biden's paying a price because he was too slow on the issue. Look, he was warned by his pollster in the first year of his White House that inflation, immigration, and crime were rising issues with voters.
Biden has unleashed is the most disastrous president in our lifetimes. Why on earth would they come back into the White House, defeat him in 2020, come back to the White House and unleash the worst border crisis in American history, and then expect that that's not going to pave the way for Donald Trump to make it to ride that issue again?
I've never had one conversation with the president or the vice president for that matter. And so I was the chief of the Border Patrol. I commanded 21,000 people. That's a problem.
How can the president and the vice president not talk to their own Border Patrol chief for like nearly 2 years?
Because they're not interested. That's what it's about. They have no interest in securing our border. They tried over the last few months to flip the script and say that this is the Republicans' issue. They forget that we passed H.R. 2 200, now almost 300 days ago, sent it over to the Senate where it sat there and collected dust on Chuck Schumer's desk. Then they came up with this bipartisan solution. You hear all over social media, Democrats and Biden supporters criticizing Republicans. You should have signed on to the bipartisan border bill. You should have voted for the bipartisan border bill. And I keep asking them, when was the vote? Because I don't remember the Senate sending it over to the House because they can't even get it out of the Senate because they can't agree.
Listen, he did it. He collapsed the border. Biden collapsed the border with nearly 100 executive actions. He did it. And now, Congressman, we have this new report. We're looking into it. The Center of Immigration Studies, it has been filing FOIA, Freedom of Information Act lawsuits against the Biden White House. It's finding that CBP has flown more than 320,000 illegal immigrants from out of Latin America into 43 U.S. cities, but the White House won't name the airports or the cities. This happened all of last year. So the Biden White House has that app on the phone, the CBP One app, where you can apply for travel authorization and temporary humanitarian release to get into America, out of Latin America, into U.S. cities, 43 of them, into U.S. airports, 320,000 reportedly flown in by the Biden White House.
Yeah, and we have said it from day one when we started our investigation in the Homeland Security Committee that the CBP One app was completely being extorted by the cartels. That was one of our biggest issues. And it's not only the CBP app, it's not only the administration, but now we have Democratic lawmakers in places throughout this country. I mean, take California. They just announced either today or yesterday that there's a new bill in the state legislature in California that would make illegal immigrants eligible for first-time homebuyer loans. I mean, this is complete insanity, and it is all at the hands of Joe Biden and Secretary Mayorkas, and the American people are sick of it. You can't just keep taking, his answer is, well, I need money for the border. You don't need money for crappy policies that he's put in place. You need to secure the border. This is not all about immigration. This is about border security. It's about protecting our homeland.
It's about crime.
It's about
Congressman,
making our country safer.
Thank you. It's about crime, too. Congressman Diaz-Bazita, thanks for joining us.